We're trying to connect people and connect people through status. And Twitter, in its essence, is a very intentful presence. It's all about presence, and it's about having an intent to say that, you know, I'm at a coffee store, or I'm at having a hot dog at Fifth and Broadway. If you don't know the person, you probably don't care. But if you know that your friend really, really loves coffee, and your friend really, really loves coffee at this place, and that's meaningful to that person, and you receive that message and you can place them in that context, then suddenly it makes a lot of sense, and you feel good about it. My favorite user on the system on Twitter is my mom. You know, she updates constantly. I'm typically bad about calling home to talk to my parents, but I get her updates every day, and I know exactly, you know, what she's doing and where she's going. With Twitter and things like Facebook and other mobile social networks, what it means to carry your social network around with you all the time. I mean, it's best when, from a user's perspective, there is no differentiator between the service and the device. And I think we're seeing more and more of that, where there's more integration into, like Nokia and Google and Apple are creating platforms to really be integrated into open the device itself, which allows you to have a much richer integrated experience with the phone. For me, a blog is somewhat intimidating. I mean, you have this. It's like approaching any massive canvas. You have this massive white canvas, and there's so many possibilities for what you can put on that canvas. But when you really constrain something, and when you make it small, you feel less intimidated, and you can be more in the moment, and you can be more off the cuff, and you can just say what you mean right away without thinking about it. So a lot of Twitter's direction came from SMS, which is a technology I personally am in love with. I love how widespread it is. I love how low-tech it is. I think that's generally true. Any sort of constraint you place on a process inspires one to be a little bit more creative. I think I'm a big believer in constraint inspiring creativity. I started way back programming dispatch systems for couriers, taxis, and emergency 911 centers. And all of these entities are, you know, driving about the city, driving about Madrid, and constantly reporting with radio or with pagers or cell phones. And I wanted the same thing for my friends. I wanted to know what my friends were doing right now in real time, and I wanted to be able to map them around the city and around the world. Is something I've been developing for a long time, and it first crystallized when I saw IM and the buddy list. And when you look at a standard IM buddy list, you see all these away messages. And with one glance, you can see more or less what your friends are doing. And I really wanted to get away from the computer and update that status when I was not sitting in front of a desk. We're going to make the application as accessible and approachable as possible. So what that means is having local access points in every one of our major markets, building more device access points, building applications, really helping our API developers to make the best, and making a really stable, reliable system so that Twitter becomes a utility service. Spain is a very exciting market for us. The application is very popular here, and we have a lot of very passionate users, and we have a lot of media interested in the application. And Spain to me seems like a very social country that just, you know, really welcomes these sorts of technologies, and you know, I love the culture, so.